Hello everyone. So today we are going to start, which means that the physical process through which all of the oxygen is getting involved in the cell for their survival is called the cellular respiration. Means in the cellular respiration, the oxygenated blood that has been coming from the arteries is being takes place in the tissue, and thereafter oxygen gets used up during energy production. Thereafter, we can also see that the deoxygenated blood that has been taken by the veins is carried to the heart, and then it is pumped to the lungs so that the lungs can recycle the deoxygenated blood into the oxygenated process. So let's see about the difference between the breathing and respiration, because they both are the two different things. So breathing is a physical process which is done by us, that is just breathe in the oxygen and breathe out the carbon dioxide. But cellular respiration is not a physical process. It is a chemical process which involves oxidation of complex organic substance by the intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide, water vapor and energy. Okay, so there has been a whole lot different things in the cellular respiration. That is, in the cellular respiration we get what? We get oxygen, and instead of getting oxygen we release carbon dioxide, water vapor and some energies. Thereafter, breathing always takes place outside the cell, but the respiration always takes place inside the cell. Breathing does not require any kind of enzymes, but the cellular respiration require so many kinds of enzymes. Thereafter, we'll go for the diffusion of respiratory gases into the alveoli. So it is the primary function of the respiratory system is to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. Means the first motive of the respiratory system is to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide simultaneously. Thereafter, what happened? The inhaled oxygen enters the lungs and reaches the alveoli. Means the oxygen which has been taken by us will reach to the alveoli. Thereafter, the layers of the cell lining the alveoli and the surrounding capillaries are each one cell thick and are in very close contact with each other. Means there has been so much of alveolis are surrounded with capillaries, and all the capillaries are like stick together and they are very close to each other. So there has been a barrier between air and blood averages about 1 micron in thickness. So that's why they are very close to each other, but they are not compact. So there has been a barrier between the air and the blood averages, and the barrier is 1 micron. So oxygen passes quickly through this air blood carrier into the blood in capillaries. So that's why the air can just pass through the air blood barrier into the blood in the capillaries. Means the diffusion process is being taken place. Thereafter, similar way, the carbon dioxide will also pass from the blood into the alveoli, and thereafter we exhale the carbon dioxide. Let's see what are the mechanism of the breathing. So breathing mechanism consists of two process. Means there has been two process that is being executed by breathing, that is the inspiration and expiration. Inspiration means the process of taking in air from the atmosphere into the lungs, and the expiration means the process of leaving the air from the lungs into the atmosphere. So both of these are totally different things. So what is inspiration? Inspiration is also named as inhalation. And what is inhalation? Inhalation is the result of increase in the size of thoracic cavity, and also it increased due to the combined action of the ribs and diaphragm. So inhalation is nothing but it is the process in which the thoracic cavity will increase the size. And why it is increased? Because we take the oxygen inside of our body, and there has been some combined action which has been done by the ribs and diaphragm. Thereafter, the whole procedure is called inspiration. Then what are the ribs? So the ribs are moved upward and outward by the muscles and stretched between them, thus enlarging the chest cavity all around. Means the reason why our chest cavity start to enlarge, because whenever we just take the air inside or inhale the air, at that time our ribs try to move upward and downward by the muscles, and the muscles which has been present in our ribs, that is the intercostal muscles, that is very good in stretching. Then we go to see that the work of the diaphragm. So diaphragm is what? Is a seat of muscular tissue which is remain arched upward like a dome toward the base of the lungs. On contraction it falls or flattens from the dome shaped outline to the almost horizontal plane, thus contribute to the enlargement of the chest cavity lengthwise. So diaphragm is also a kind of muscle. It is a muscular muscle and it is a seat, it is a layer of the muscle, and in this layer we can see that it is a arch upward like a dome. So arch means what? Arch means this kind of place. Okay, this is called the arch. So it has a dome like structure, and that's why our body have a chest cavity lengthwise muscles, and it is also contribute to the enlargement of the chest also. Okay, and the diaphragm also flattens some organs inside the abdomen as the abdominal muscles will be relaxed and the abdominal wall try to move outwards. Thereafter there has been some conditions are being given about the decreased pressure inside the lungs draw the airs inward. Means when the thoracic cavity increase in size, the pressure in the pleural cavities is decreased. Means when the chest cavity will get increase in the size, at that time we have a different cavities, that is pleural cavity, and that is being decreased. Thereafter the lungs expand, and then the pressure inside the lungs is lowered below the atmospheric pressure, and that's why the outside air will try to get into the lungs with a very great pressure and rushes in to equalize the pressure. Means the outward air will try to get into the lungs and equalize the pressure until it will become equal. So it is all involve the process of inhalation. Now we are going to learn about the expiration. So what is expiration? Expiration is a result of reverse movement of the ribs and diaphragm. The other set of intercostal muscles contract and pull the ribs down and inward. Means the expiration is nothing but a result of reverse movement of the ribs and diaphragm, and there has been some different kind of sets of intercostal muscle that is being present on our ribs side. Okay, and then it also pull our ribs downward and inward side. So at that time our diaphragm is being relaxed and it is move upward to its dome like outline as a result of the pressure of abdominal content when the muscle in the abdominal wall contract. Means it is quite opposite from the expiration. It is quite opposite from the inhalation. In the expiration we get our muscles contract and pulled, but in the inhalation the opposite of that was occurring. So as a consequence, the movement of ribs, diaphragm, the cavity of the thorax, all of them will diminished and the lungs are compressed, forcing the air out into the atmosphere. So these are the reasons through which the cavity of the thorax will become diminished, and that's why the lungs are compressed, so they don't have any choice of except forcing the air out into the atmosphere. And during rest we breathe approximately 16 times a minute, and we inhale about 0.5 to 3 liter of air in every breath. Means in every breath we used to inhale 0.5 to 3 liters, and that is enough. Whenever we are engaged in any physical activity, the carbon dioxide content in the blood pressure increase. As a result, the rate is also increase and the rate of breathing will increase, and it can go up to 50 times a minute. Means why, if we are taking a rest, we approximately used to take 16 times breath in a minute, and also we also inhale 0.5 to 3 liter of air in every breath. And suppose you are doing any kind of physical activity like running, jogging or anything, so at that time the carbon dioxide contained in the blood pressure, in the blood will increase, and as a result the rate of breathing will also increase, and it will go up to 50 times a minute. Means you will, as during the rest you are taking the 16 times a minute, it will go to the exceed to the 50 times a minute. That is a very big deal. Okay, so I'm going to close my chapter over here. We will discuss so many things about this chapter later. Okay, bye. Start our part 2, that is the respiratory system part 2 for class 9. Okay, and in this class we are going to learn about the mechanics of breathing. Okay, so here we start that the human body needs oxygen in the air to perform the respiration and remove the metabolic waste carbon dioxide produced by respiration. Thereafter, the air exchange process contains two parts. One is external respiration occurring between the pulmonary alveoli and its capillaries, and the other is internal respiration occurring between the tissue cells and the blood capillaries. So what does it means? That there has been two type of breathing that is being occurring. The first one is external and the next one is internal. Okay, so we are going to learn everything in very explanation about the external respiration over here. As we can see, the external respiration is what? The exchange of gases takes place due to the diffusion, exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the inhaled air in the alveoli and deoxygenated pulmonary blood is called external respiration. Means when the exchange of gases is being takes place due to diffusion. Diffusion means what? There is a semi permeable membrane, and due to this membrane the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide is being taken place, where with the air which is inhaled by us is going into the alveoli, and thereafter the deoxygenated blood that has been exerted by the pulmonary blood is called external respiration, because the deoxygenated blood we get out, that is the carbon dioxide. Okay, and all of these things result in the conversion of deoxygenated blood coming out from heart into the oxygenated blood, returning to the heart. Means this is the whole procedure, that when we just take the oxygen inside of our body, what happened thereafter, there's some procedure through which the oxygen is being mixed with the blood, and that is called the oxygenated blood. And in the meanwhile the external respiration do what? It take all the deoxygenated blood, okay, and just remove all the carbon dioxide from that part and mix the oxygen in the blood, and thereafter return it to the heart, so that the heart can pump it to all of our body, is called oxygenated blood. And the whole procedure is the respiration. So external respiration makes internal respiration possible, as oxygen rich blood goes to the different part of the body. Thereafter we can see that the internal respiration is also known as the cellular respiration. So cellular respiration is what? It is the physical process of interchange of gases by diffusion between the body fluid and tissue cells, which means